The state made some decisions and some new performance tasks added onto the multiple choice that was done on computer last year for students, which added 3 days of additional testing to every grade level. We've gone from 3 days for the last 10 years to 4 days last year to 7 and 8 days this year, which is just, I mean, it's inappropriate, highly inappropriate. The design of this is not good for children, and it's not good for the learning that's happening.
Somebody in the Department of Ed drew these regulations up without any input from anybody. The commissioner signs off, and now, regardless of resolutions, regardless of anything, that is the regulation that's in front of us. It is a regulation. It isn't a proposed regulation. So I would like to know what that's going to cost this district in money, in time, as far as teacher hours and time, and how long it's going to tie up our computer lab.
We spend $20,000 every testing day to be able to accomplish testing. Last year, we spent a little over $600,000 on substitutes alone to meet the IEPs for testing on the first computerized system, which was AMP, and that was not with the additional 3 days. They are extending the testing window only by a week, and assuming that schools would double up morning and afternoons. So at 20, I mean, that's 100,000 right there. If you take time and time again, 3, 3, 3, we're taking those additional days out of where teachers would teach. Some teachers said, you've just put my ability to go to my computer lab out of commission for another 30 days. And so totaling over 45 days. So it's significant. So those data came from the people who were in the classrooms saying this is crazy.
That student gets pulled out while the rest of the class is doing a test. They might not have been able to arrange for them to do their own separate at the same time. So that IEP student gets pulled out again to do their own while their class is testing. They're doing probably nothing really very productive. And then they're missing twice as much time, and that almost seems like it opens us up for some sort of discrimination, complaint, some kind of a grievance from a parent, because I'd be upset that not only is my kid missing many days for testing, but then many days of twiddling their thumbs because they had to be pulled out while the other kids were being tested.
Our goal is to educate, and I don't see where any of adding these days of testing helps with education.
We often talk, is it good for kids? I see this as absolutely bad all the way around. It was never brought up. It's 2 or 3 people, indeed, drawing this up, commissioners signing it. And they've just simply, for lack of any other term, is just simply said that's the way it is. No input whatsoever. Let's just boycott this whole thing. It's a bad idea. It's bad. And the question is, what happens if you boycott it? What are they going to do to you? I don't know what they're going to do to you, but it sure would bring up the attention of how bad of a regulation this is, because if we don't, it's going to be permanent, just like the charter school.